All right. Well, this is Jason, and thanks for checking out this video here. And it's going to be pretty crude, done with my Max webcam, or whatever they call this thing on here. But this little video is actually going to be a demo of, I don't know if demo is the right word, but kind of just a walkthrough of some of the different direct mail pieces, what they look like, the stuff that we send out over the years, and kind of how they work and why they work. So I'll start off with kind of one that's very old, but it worked very well. I'll try to get this close enough so that you can see it. But this is a direct mail piece, all right, something like that. And as you can see, what this one is it's a kind of a large envelope. I guess this would be, 8.5 or whatever, a little more than 8.5 wide. And then I guess this would be, what's it, 5.5 or something like that. Anyway, half the size of a full sheet of paper. So open up a sheet of paper, fold it in half. It's got to fit in this thing. And a couple little things that you might notice that we do. If you can read this, it says over here, important investment and tax documents enclosed, which I think is a little bit misleading. And so we actually stopped doing this one because I think we got to almost, I felt a little guilty, I guess, sending this thing out. But the concept makes sense. So we could remove this and just say important investment information enclosed. I think it probably would have worked the exact same. But the idea was to make it kind of look, we sent this out for a seminar we did, I think around like March. We just be certain about this. Okay, so this was end of February of 2007. And the idea was to try to make it look kind of like all the stuff they were getting in the mail, 1099s and the like, so that people would open it up. And then, so through it, a couple other little things you'll see that, the way that it's addressed internally, I mean, it looks, again, all the barring and different digits and stuff is actually all just for show. There's not a lot, there's some practical purpose because we get some pre-sorted rates by barring it there. But there's also some other just gibberish you can kind of see snuck in there too that's designed just to make it look a little bit more official. And even though we're just using a pre-sorted deal here, I mean, this whole thing for the envelope, to buy it, to print it, everything was probably like maybe 50 cents or something like that. But then what happens is, so they get this, they pop it open, and then this is probably one of the more sort of radical things that we've done over the years. I don't think very many people are doing, and it works really, really well so long as your budget can support this. But it's actually having an invitation that is almost like a sales letter. I mean, a long one. So it's a giant sheet of paper with a bunch of text. And so open up. Here's the front. Open it up. First page, second page, and then back side of this. And you can kind of see the title, of what we were doing, what Wealthy do differently. And you'll notice that nowhere on here is there a big, like, steak or something like that, or lobster or anything. Rather, we just literally packed this thing full of information about what we're going to do. So like this little box at the top, it's talking about 5 kind of main bullet points. And then there's a couple other call-outs, a call-out box here. I think we have at least one more, on the back. So another little call-out box. But this was a pretty successful run. I mean, as far as this invitation, we tested in a lot of different envelopes. One that I could not find around the office, but I've written a little bit about it. It's actually like the full 9 by 12 or something envelope. And then again, it would show the address through a window, and then have "Do Not Bend" on it, or without the window and just have "Do Not Bend," but in huge letters, like letters that at least as big as what you see at the top, but probably bigger, and in like an Arial font, fully bold. So anyway, this is just one example, and when I say this worked pretty good, I think we used this style, this exact copy, everything on this for probably a full year with really very little changes, just testing different envelopes, and I'd be hard pressed if we didn't gather maybe 20, 30 million that year from doing perhaps 7 or 8 seminars. So just kind of guessing here without looking at all of our data. But the main thing is that people have been asking, what does good mail look like? This is actually a pretty good piece. It's going to get opened a lot. And then as far as what's inside it, it's largely a letter. So I mean, it's going to get a different type of person than what most people get. So that's one here. Here's another one. This is a little bit more traditional, and this is one we did, I think, this year. Or no, this was last year. This is 2008. And this is an effort. One of the things we're finding is we wanted to try to move up market with some of our marketing, specifically from seminars, getting a little bit wealthier clientele. And so one of the things we want to do is come across a bit more polished. So we didn't want people to think that we were the same as all the annuity slingers, that we're all doing the exact same things. We wanted our stuff to look different. So a very basic, simple envelope. Let me cross my address out. I don't want all you clowns showing up at my house. There we go. This one actually is addressed directly to me. So anyway, I scribble out my address, but you can kind of see that basic concept is just a plain Jane envelope. Don't have to have a return address over here because we used a first class stamp. So this was back, stamps were 42 cents. This was sent out July of 08. And since we used a 42-cent stamp, I mean, one of the first things that'll come to people's mind is that this is a lot more expensive than doing some postcards that are going to be, for the list, the printing, the whole ball of wax, like 30 cents or 40 cents or whatever. But we were, again, trying to see, will this work? Can we move up market, pay more? And keep in mind, when we send these out, we don't send out like 500 of them. We're sending out 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, as many as 10,000. So you do 10,000, and if these things cost, like this one here, maybe $5,000. This one here actually probably was closer to 70 or 80 cents a piece. So we could spend upwards of 6,000, 7,000 on just the invitations. But we're doing this only because we know that it works. We've tested it. We know that the copy works. Maybe it would just be, some of the tests might be more or less the envelopes. But this was an 08 kind of a whole experiment to try to move into a newer, higher net worth audience, and it worked. So here's some of the things. First of all, very plain envelope. This is likely going to get open. The font is designed to look like it was typed on with a typewriter, and so that's kind of what you can see there. First class stamp. They know it's not junk mail, basically, at this point, or at least it certainly doesn't look like junk mail. Since it's with a first class regular stamp, none of the extension on the zip code has to be there either. So then, after that, you open this thing up. So here's kind of how it opens, and then this thing slides out. And all of a sudden, you can see, all of a sudden, we started getting into graphics and some things like that we never had done before. And then as they open this thing up, so if I'm, reading it like this, try to give you my view if I was opening this mail, pop it open, I'd probably at least do one of these, where I look and see what's in the back, and you'll see on the back there's this huge, big, bold thing. And the reason why we did it like this is, again, we wanted to try to appeal. You can kind of see the graphic, perhaps a little bit, on there. And it's this rich dude with the top hat. And he's saying, retire, what do you think? Anyway, and we bought from the artist the rights to reprint this, and so that's what we did with it. And then you'll kind of see, again, the heading, 6 ways the wealthy manage their investments that ordinary investors do not. And we started to tag the whole thing, What the Wealthy Do Differently free seminar series presents, and then you kind of see the text there. Again, just largely a sales letter, with some bullet points, a couple little call outs in bold. But we wanted this to look classy, if there's such a way. Again, another kind of call out here. This is actually just kind of like bio information, which normally we'd never really tested before. A couple other just general call outs, and then kind of the big bold, like all the bullet points, and it's all, they all start, by the way, you kind of see some of them, first one, the wealthy, ... are not satisfied with buy and hold, while their portfolios are shrinking.